What up, everybody? How's everybody doing? Hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving and got to see their families and eat some great food. I've been meaning to do this video actually for a little bit. Just been caught up doing a lot of other things with my day job kind of thing, so haven't been able to make a video in a couple days. But this last week or so, I don't remember the exact day that it launched. I think it was Monday. But TXC launched on WEX or WEEX. I'm guessing it's We Exchange is kind of how they say it. So WEX. So now that makes 3 U.S. friendly exchanges that TXC is offered on. So I kind of was going to just kind of run through and look at the basics, give you kind of my personal opinion on the layout and some of the features that they have, because everybody's got a little bit different features. And then you can kind of see which one you like the best for which one you are using. Starting with ChatGPT's interpretation of each, asked it to rank them. WEX, Biconomy, and Pionex are the 3 U.S. friendly exchanges that offer TXC. Can you rank and compare these exchanges? It ranks Pionex 1, Biconomy 2, and WEX number 3. Pionex is the best fit for most U.S. users. It has a dedicated U.S. site. It has all the regulatory and things necessary to be compliant. And then it also has extremely low fees. Pionex advertises 0.05% fees. They do offer their built-in trading bots, and these bots will have an additional fee on top of that basic transaction fee. But it's still, in my opinion, very much worth it, because that fee for using the bot that it's making you profit on is cheaper than if you were to go buy or subscribe to a third-party bot. So that's a pretty good deal. Mobile app, all that. Emphasis on user safety for retail traders is very important, especially in crypto. There's a lot of attempts on people trying to scam and hack, so the fact that they have a emphasis on priority on safety is very reassuring. It's not able to see that for whatever reason. I'm not sure. Using CoinGecko, it doesn't see. Might be old data. But lowest fees, very built around the U.S. user, so that's nice. Biconomy comes in at number 2. It does offer futures, but not on TXC. TXC doesn't have the liquidity built up yet, and the market presence for these exchanges to be able to have enough to do futures trading. Down the road, I'm sure they'll be able to. They do have 0.2%, which is significantly more than Pionex, but still considered on the low end for fees on transactions. What Biconomy has that's really good is they're built around the rails to fiat and then other exchanges making transactions. If you're transferring coins, if you need to put USDT or USDC back to your bank to get cash for whatever purchase you're using, if you're trying to get between different exchanges, if you need to convert USDT to USDC, or you're trying to get your TXC to USDT to USDC, however you're trying to transfer it or whatever for whatever use, Biconomy is very good around this, and they have a lot of staking options. So if you're building a crypto portfolio that has some of the proof of stake coins like Ethereum or Solana or something that you want to stake, Biconomy has a lot of really great options for those. In addition to TXC, which is nice, and it's one of the ones that pairs TXC directly to USDC. So if you're getting it paid in your commission and you want to take your commission and directly go buy TXC, that is a instant. You don't have to transfer or convert anything. So that's kind of a little caveat that you could be using if you're using that strategy of taking your commission in USDC and then buying TXC on the market. Biconomy would be a direct positive purchase without having to convert your USDC commission into USDT to go buy, because most of the other exchanges pair TXC with USDT. So Weex appears to be heavily focused on its futures margin products. They have a big reserve, proof of reserve claims, highlight features. Not using the full KYC is appealing to many, but this often indicates that they're less regulated and some offshore posturing, which for some U.S. users this could limit your features. Depending what state you're in and all, some states have a little bit more stricter stances on this, but it is still within its it is still available and friendly for the U.S. You just have to make sure you're using, depending what you're doing, you might be limited in your features. The major tokens is Bitmart and MEXC. These are the primary two with the liquidity. They are not off limits for U.S. Users. Some regions are having a more difficult time than others, so it kind of depends, but overall you're supposed to be able to get in and do some kind of spot trading, so you just have to use another exchange in order to get your coins over there, but you do have access. But of the ones that are direct, deposit to purchase TXC and the least amount of hurdles that you'll have to encounter, Pionex is the best, Biconomy second, Weex is third according to ChatGPT. Now, as far as what you're going to use it for, you're probably going to want to go in and look at the user interface, maybe some of the tools that they have and the layout. Some might be more confusing than others or easier for you to see. If you are wanting to use Bitmart or MEXC, because those are the primary liquidity pools of TXC, which is perfectly fine because those are also the highest ranked in regards to coin market cap as far as on the reporting goes. As far as tier 2 exchanges, those are the best 2 exchanges according to coin market cap. So you can use them by users are allowed to do spot trading. So you are able to do it. And you can't do futures and some of the other features. Some states may have a stricter stance than others. Both require email, two-factor authentication, basic KYC. No VPN is required. Using a VPN is not recommended. Deposit your crypto, not USD. So they don't, because those aren't really US linked. Like with the other ones, you can deposit USD and then convert to whatever you want to do. In order to use Bitmart or to use MEXC, you have to go into like Biconomy or Pionex for the two that has TXC, or Coinbase and Kraken. Take your USD, convert it to one of the USDT or USDCs, and you can transfer these to Bitmart or to MEXC in order to use the spot trading if it's within your state. Again, based on your region, some states are going to be more strict on not allowing it at all, and some will give you some access to some. They might limit your amounts that you're able to do, and they might hold your withdrawals longer, which is a little bit of a negative that most people are not going to see. Everybody, when they want to get their money out, they want to get it out as fast as possible. They don't want it to sit. So kind of my personal opinion, my personal stance is Pionex and Biconomy are the top 2. Pionex has a ton of features and the lowest fees to do the trading. And then Biconomy is the easiest to get to your bank. Obviously, you're still able to use both if you want to have positions in both. But if you ever needed to get the money out, would go into my Pionex, have my USDT or whatever USDC, and I either transfer it directly to Biconomy, or I can come over here and I can convert whatever into whatever I need to do, come over here, and then Biconomy has the quickest access to getting it back to a fiat currency, not just a USD, whatever currency around the world you are. Biconomy seems to be geared around that with all of the rails that it has as far as getting your money to a fiat currency from a crypto. Biconomy is going to be your best for that. So if we look at coin market cap, we had a little bit of a run. We almost had a little pop over 4 today. I know Biconomy popped over yesterday, hit 440, and actually had decent volume at that one. Let me see if it says where volume. 332 in that candle, ran it all the way up to 440, and then today looks like we had, midnight or so, ran up to 417.5, almost 418. Again on a 414 volume hour candle, not bad. So unfortunately those didn't have any legs to stick on and stand. Let's go into spot, or maybe I have to search this way. Let's search it this way. I haven't messed with WeX much beyond I logged on and I kind of did a couple little quick searches. I'm immediately going into Bitcoin because I clicked on something. Catch up, computer. Here we go. Come on. TXC. Let's see what we got. 381. I don't remember exactly what day this listed. I want to say it was Monday. The 25th. That sounds like Monday. 22nd was last Saturday, 23rd, 24th. So Tuesday, launched on Tuesday. Had a nice run up off rip. Looks like it's got a similar layout where you have the charting tools right here next to it. You could do a 1 minute, 5 minute, quick, live, 1 minute, 4 hours. So these are all my hot ones, and then I can look at any of these. It is nice to sometimes look at the 2 hour. A 2 hour is not always offered in a lot of the exchanges to look. It does kind of combine. It is in the middle for what you're trading. Personally, I always look at the 15 minute as I'm looking for a more near term kind of position, like a day trade kind of thing. I watch the 15 minute pretty tightly. And as I'm looking for pivot points and zones and places that are good investment places to buy long term, I look at the 4 hour. I'm assuming these are all pretty similar. I like the crosshairs, very clean and easy to use. Looks like we broke out of that little uptrend, so hopefully this gets some needs some legs here. Where did we test this? A couple times. We're right on that line. I'd like to get back over this 380. Hopefully a good bounce coming here. Get us back in a positive uptrend. We're doing pretty good. Let's see what Biconomy has, the 15 minute. I'm assuming it still has the other ones. Oh, no, it doesn't. Oh, no, 5 minute, 30 minute, 1 minute. So it does have most of them, not all of them. I'm assuming I have to do candles. It does offer hollow candles. I could put in alerts. It has more of the indicators already built in, which is nice that it defaults to them. I do like this tool on Biconomy. This is the order book depth. So what it basically does is it shows, based on the order book that's over here, based on the volume and amount of trades. So you see that we have a large amount of trades back at the $3 range that are stacked, and over here there's not as many. And then in this range we're kind of light. But what you line up is when you see this height of the order book on the sell side, how far back does it match? We're a little bit on a sell side imbalance, and then especially because obviously you see the height at this. But this is all over. People have $23 as the price, $10. It looks like people have some sell orders just stacked in there just in case there's a crazy run up, kind of like a would be cool thing. Could also be bot orders just kind of stacked there based on the grid flow and how they're separating out. See a lot of focus on the 555 to $6 range that people are trying to look for. If there's a nudge or a liquidity injection and the price runs up, this was the previous resistance zone, so there's a lot of orders stacked here. And then we kind of tear down. There's not as much in the middle. This part right here in the middle doesn't match this. So if this pressure increases closer, we would see a run up. So that's kind of cool to see that. Peer-to-peer, third-party payment. I would have to look into this. Visa, MasterCard, powered by Advanced Cash, Banex. Looks like you have some credit card rewards that you could link to your crypto. Or you could pay your credit card with your crypto. I would have to mess around with that a little bit, but that's kind of cool. Copy trading is one that WeX also advertises, where Pionex has the built-in bot trading. Some of these other guys will offer copy trading, where there's public portfolios of people who, this guy's made $232,000 in his Biconomy account, which is a 359%. So he's pretty good. It doesn't have a lot, unless this is a ratio. Oh, yeah. Looks like he's withdrawn most of it out of Biconomy. Looks like he's withdrawn it out of Biconomy. This person made $57,000, has $316,000 in his portfolio. So you could go in there. Oh, looks like he doesn't have anything available. Oh, I have to probably sign in and get it activated or whatever. Oh yeah, copy now, become a trader. So what this will do is basically you'll put a fund, and if that person goes and buys Bitcoin or XRP, Ethereum, a TXC, Solana, or any of them, even if they put in more money, it'll put in a ratio based on what they put in for you. So if they have a $100,000 account and you have a $100 account, if they put in $1,000, you'll put in the $1, and it will just be a ratio, and you'll just mimic exactly what trades they make. So not a bad gig if you could find somebody who's good at this game. A lot of times these guys know, and if they're putting in the time and effort to track and find, it would be worth copying their positions. Look, there we have a little spike back up, so good job. I saw a copy trade on this one. Futures, the demo trading, so you can practice trading without using real money. So for some who are just starting that are wanting to dabble in this and see how aggressive they want to get into it, it's always worth practicing with fake money. Play with your Monopoly money and see what you make. Copy trading again, the highest ranked, all elite traders. So you select your trader. Slow down. We're trying to read that. That was cool, and it went away. It's not telling us where that went. There we go. So you select your trader, choose the right elite trader, recommended overall rankings, or direct search. Configure your own trading pairs, leverage mode, investment mode, and risk control settings. Start copying your elite trader's strategy will be copied in real time based on your settings. I might throw some money in one of these and mess with it just to see. Have to see if any of them also trade at TXC, or what are their top trades. TXC is obviously one of many cryptos. It's obviously a fun project to be in this early, but there are others, so it'd be cool to see what everybody else is trading. See how many others, like with Bitcoin being, or I'm sorry, TXC being close to like a Bitcoin or Litecoin or some of these other ones that are similar. It would be cool to see how well their moves are also similar, just based on the fact that, Litecoin clone. So does Litecoin's price movement also affect TXC, or does TXC moves? Do they move in unison? So I might mess with that. So looking at the volume today, last 24 hours, 373,000 kind of seems to be back towards the average, down 50% from the little run-up we had in the last 24 hours where things got a little excited. So if we go look at the day, real quick, I just want to wrap up here and check in our volume, how we're doing. Still trending up on a slight pullback. Nobody's mad about that. Of course, we'd love to be over 5 at the end of the month, but we are where we are. Here was our good volume day. What did we end up getting yesterday? 28th was 756,000. That is a great day. Nice bullish candle. And so we'll look at that candle. Nice equal wick below, equal wick above, full body candle. Would like to not see this go much lower and reverse course here pretty soon. We are at this 380, 375 to 385 kind of support range. So some bullish move. We're at the bottom of this wick. We're at the bottom of this zone. This is kind of a little pivot zone where bullish momentum's got to kick in here and kind of save the day and save the weekend. Would like to see an attempt at a reverse of this candle on this side of the valley. Be a nice move up above 450. So looking for that. Bitmart 128 Dex trade. That's where a lot of the OGs are trading because it was the first one on there. They did update and did some maintenance. I don't know if it was the beginning of this week or into last week, fairly recently, but from a lot of posts on Facebook, from some stuff in the Telegram group, it sounds like there has been a crackdown, an audit maybe on the USA users. So something to consider as you're signing people up, that you don't want them to get, if they're having problems getting in or if they want to avoid that and just stick to a US one. Pinex, Biconomy are the top two that are showing right now. I expect Sunday or Monday we're going to see WEX on here. Either CoinMarketCap hasn't received or WEX hasn't sent, whatever the data. But there was more volume, obviously, because we don't even have WEX's volume in here. So it was probably over 400,000 again. So that's great to see that TXC's volume is increasing. More U.S. exchanges is refreshing to see also because, Texas Coin, TXC is a U.S.-based crypto coin. It's being mined in Texas. So as many U.S. exchanges that adopt it, the more, U.S. eyes are on it. So cool to see. I hope this kind of helps you as far as which exchange you're signing up for. You're allowed to be on more than one. Each kind of has their own feature and layout. So I almost think of these three, it's definitely worth having at least two. If you like the bot trading or the lower fees because you're going to try to be a frequent trader, Pionex is got those features and is paired with USDT. Biconomy has all of the rails to get your crypto to fiat as quick as possible. And then as you build a portfolio, you can also stake well and get a nice passive income from other cryptos, especially if you're going to do the wrapped TXC and the Ethereum network and want to stake. That's through Uniswap. But that allows you to, on this USDC pairing, which also means that if you take your commission in USDC, you can directly buy without having to convert. I don't remember what WEX was paired with for TXC. I think it was USDT. That's the most common one. Yep, this is a USDT pairing. It's not really a better, it's just what they're paired with, so you gotta just be mindful of it, of what you're sending. But hopefully that helps you guys. I think, you could have all three. If you want to have Dex trade, multiple of these, you could have all of them if you want. Find which one has a nice layout for you that's easy for you to see and easy for you to navigate. What features are appealing to you? Do you think you're going to be, you're looking to get back and forth between crypto and fiat? Do you want to use bot trading? Do you want to use copy trading? I think WEX is big also on having reserve liquidity to back its exchange money. So that's nice. Do you like this layout? This one's got nice built-in charting and tools for you, where Biconomy didn't have as many of those tools. So everybody's got a little bit of a positive. It's which one fits you the best. And nice to see an increased volume. Again, hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving. Would love to see over 450 this weekend. I know that's a little ambitious, but at least over 4 would get exciting. So happy investing and happy holidays, everybody.